Hey guys, Aisha here, and today we're gonna ruin some childhoods. It's gonna be fun. Hey guys, Aisha here, and today we're gonna talk about Theodore something. Hey guys, Aisha here, and today we're gonna talk about a man named Theodore Seuss Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss. But more specifically, the 6 books that were taken out of print, banned, removed, however you want to put it. That's what we're mostly going to focus on today. So let's get started. I have a new sponge for the occasion. I already went ahead and primed and moisturized. I've been using this a lot, Smith & Colt. I've had it for a while. The pump doesn't work anymore, but I just take it out of there. A little dabby dab. I'm good to go. Alright, Theodore Seuss Geisel. Born March 2nd, 1904. Born in Springfield, Massachusetts. His family was of German descent. And it said when he was younger, he and his little sister experienced anti-German hate towards them. So this video isn't going to be so much about him and his personal life, but just like not the whole backstory of him and his personal life. More so focusing on his books, his comics, the specific books and comics that he created, the racially insensitive, I don't like that. Let's just say the racist books and comics he created and not sugarcoated, because they were racist, bro. So I'll give a little bit of a backstory about him, but I really want to focus mostly on that. Because I didn't think I had to make this video, but of course, I saw a bunch of crap where people were saying, oh, they're canceling Dr. Seuss now, what next? No one canceled Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is actually legendary. He is actually iconic, and most people use that word in a way that I don't agree with, because they call any and everything iconic, but he is actually iconic. He helped a lot of kids to learn how to read. One teacher speculated that a lot of kids weren't learning to read because books were boring. And Dr. Seuss found a way to make it fun with his rhymes and his colorful pictures and his kind of nonsense words and pictures, but they all seemed to flow and they clicked in a kid's head and their brain, and that helped them to learn to read and kept them focused, even though some of his books were kind of long. I'll be honest, like I read my daughter some of his books at night before bed. They're kind of long. They're not quick books, with the colorful pictures and the different creatures and everything in his books. It kept the kids focused, and the rhyming helped the kid to learn to read. So yeah, he is truly iconic. That is something I can agree on. I'm gonna be trying this new concealer. It's by It Cosmetics. Full coverage, anti-aging, waterproof concealer. And I just got it in the mail like 10 minutes ago. But I got it because it was on sale at Ulta. What is it? The 21 Days of Beauty. This was like half off. So let's see how this goes. It's kind of sticky. It's thick. So, Dr. Seuss. Like I said, born in 1904 in Massachusetts to a German family. And people are surprised that he was racist. The man, he was a white man born in 1904 in Massachusetts, in America. Like, come on. Be for real. I honestly would have been more surprised if he wasn't. But honestly, while I was researching this, I was wondering, like, why now? Why all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden are these books being removed from print? And I found out why. I found it out. Because these books have been out for what? Forever. Longer than I've been alive. Dr. Seuss, born in 1904 in Springfield, Massachusetts. He had a sister named Marnie. And like I mentioned before, they both were victims of anti-German hate crimes at the time. During their childhood. He attended Dartmouth College and graduated in 1925, and he attended Oxford College and he did not finish. He was going to Oxford to get his PhD in literature and he attended Oxford in the hopes of getting his PhD in philosophy and English literature. But he did not finish. So, while in college at Dartmouth, the first one, Dr. Seuss joined a fraternity, Sigma Phi. And in this fraternity, he also joined the humor magazine. It was called Jack-o'-lantern Humor Magazine. That wasn't clever at all. But yeah. He joined that as well. Writing for it, doing little comics for it. And while he was in college, he and some of his friends were caught drinking in their dorms, which was very illegal at the time, not because they were young, but because it was during Prohibition. Luckily, he wasn't kicked out of college, but the dean made it so he was not able to do any more extracurricular activities such as the humor magazine. So after being prohibited from doing his extracurriculars like the magazine, he decided he wasn't going to not do that. Like, he was still going to continue working on the magazine, but he decided to do it under a pen name, and that pen name is what we know now, Seuss. So he just published his stuff under Dr. Seuss instead of his normal name, and he was still able to continue working on the magazine. After graduating Dartmouth, he went to Oxford where he met his first wife. They weren't married at the time, but that's where he met her. And he didn't finish school at Oxford. He didn't finish Oxford because his wife, Helen, his future first wife, Helen Palmer, encouraged him to give up his dreams of earning a PhD in philosophy and English lit, and to go into comics. And because she found all these like incredible pictures that he'd drawn and doodles and everything, and she thought they were amazing, and that's what he seemed most passionate about and not what he was going to school for. So he took her advice, he dropped out, and he started pursuing his actual dreams, which was drawing. So in 1927 he came back to the States and he started pursuing his dreams, submitting comics and everything to different advertising companies and whatnot, and a lot of them passed on it because, I don't know, they passed on his work. Bet they regret that now, huh? He submitted writings and drawings to magazines, so his degree still came into play because he was still writing, but he was also drawing as well. So yeah, he didn't actually land a gig until he didn't actually manage to sell anything until 5 months after getting back to the United States, where he did manage to sell one of his comics for $25. And that was his motivation. His first nationally published cartoon was in the Saturday Evening Post. And yeah, that's where he earned his 25 bucks. And that motivated him to move. Yeah, he moved from Springfield to New York City. They always go to New York. Where later that same year, he accepted a job. He accepted a job as a writer and illustrator at a humor magazine called The Judge later that same year. And after that, he felt financially stable enough to marry Helen Palmer. So in 1936, Geisel, well, Seuss, I'm gonna call him Seuss from now on. Seuss and his wife were returning from a romantic little trip via ship, little ocean voyage, and the rhythm of the ship's engine, like, it just like piqued his creative juices, and that became the rhythm of his first book, the rhyming scheme of his first book, To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street. And To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, Mulberry Street was a street like very close to where he grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts. I think it was like the next street over or something. But yeah, To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street was his first book. Inspired by the rhythm of a ship's engine. And also the street name of a street close to where he grew up. So it said that his first book, To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, was rejected by 20 to 43 different companies. And he was on his way to burn the book after his last rejection, but he ran into one of his old buddies from Dartmouth. It was like a chance encounter. And that propelled his career. Like, his friend passed it along to somebody, and that really got his career started. And he went on to write 4 more books after that. So that goes to show you, man, never give up. 20 to 43 times. 20 to 40. That's a lot. But he was persistent, man. Good for him. So after Seuss wrote his first 4 books, the U.S. entered World War II for that, and he decided to take a break from writing his books and to focus on political cartoons during this time. Wow. Oh. I forgot to mention too, Helen Palmer was his first wife. He had a second wife. So yeah, after the war, he went back to writing his books, and he went on to write 60 books, over 60 books. So the 6 books that were pulled from print, meaning they're not going to be created anymore. They're not going to be made anymore. No more copies. Those 6 are, oh, I gotta read because I made notes. There's 6 of them. They are The Cat's Quizzer, Scrambled Egg Super, On Beyond Zebra, Mr. Elliott's Pool, If I Ran the Zoo, and To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, his first book. Now these books were banned because they had racist depictions of black people, Jewish people, Arabic people, Japanese people, and I believe that's it. From what I found, there may be others, I don't know. Let's just say Asian people in general, because I believe there was Chinese as well. So not only in his books, but also in his ads, some of the ads he created for like businesses on the side and stuff, he did also like have racism in those as well. Of course. Like I said, I would have been more surprised if he wasn't racist. That would have been so nice. But no. It seemed like back then most people were either racist or they just kept quiet about it and just like let it happen. I don't know. I don't believe the whole if it was a different time thing. It's like you knew right from wrong. You knew right from wrong. You knew that was wrong. You did it anyway to either A, join the crowd, or because you're racist, and or both. So yeah, it's no, oh, my grandma wasn't racist, it was just a different time. No, you knew all along it was wrong to murder people, to hurt people based on their skin tone, to make fun of people. Like, even children know that. Even children know that. So no, it wasn't a different time. Like looking back on the kid who used to get bullied in school or whatever, you look back and you're like, yeah, I feel bad about that. Not, oh, it was a different time back then. Oh, everybody was doing it. No, it wasn't the right thing to do. And a lot of people did it anyway. A lot of people still do it because it's not really denounced in this country. Not really. Depending on who you're talking about. Not really. Like, we still have plantations up. Like, it's just cool. Like, yeah, that happened, but whatever. So going back to what I said in the beginning, like, why now? Why now? All of a sudden, now? They're pulling these books. I believe it's just because of the racist connotation against the Asian people in the books, honestly. Because of all the Asian hate that's been going on. So now you're like, oh, this wouldn't look good in our books. Someone's going to say something about this now. So after many, many years, they're now pulling these books. Which is good. Yeah, they need to come out of print. Because why would you want to perpetuate hate and pass that on to the next generation and next generation after that? Like, why would you want to continue that? I believe that's why it's happening now all of a sudden. Even though Asian hate has been going on for a very long time. Racism against Asian people in general has been going on for a very long time. But it's more like widespread and kind of under a microscope right now. Especially after that shooting. Especially after what happened. So now it's like, yeah, we need to pull it. You get it? And Dr. Seuss Enterprises made the decision to pull the books. No one canceled these books. I don't think anybody even remembered some of these books. I remember some of them from when I was a kid. I didn't think much about them until they were brought up again. But it wasn't something like, oh yeah, Dr. Seuss is a racist, da da da. I mean, like I said before, it's not surprising. It's not surprising whatsoever. It is, yeah, it's not surprising whatsoever. What is surprising, but also not really, are people's reactions to the books being pulled from the shelves, from production. And I'm not talking about white people, because that was not surprising. I'm talking about everybody else. Like, I've had people I've known, I wouldn't call them friends, people I know who are like, oh, they shouldn't pull the books, I don't know how I feel about that, that's not right, blah blah blah. That's, why would you pull the books? And I'm like, why wouldn't you? Why would you want to see black people and other people depicted as monkeys, as bucktooth idiots running through the streets? Like, why would you be okay with that? Why would you be okay showing your kid that? And showing them and telling them that's okay to depict somebody as that, or thinking somebody as that? Why would you be okay with that? But these people who were saying this, I didn't expect much from them, because, yeah. And then somebody else said to me, I can't believe they're pulling Dr. Seuss. What's next? The Bear and the Strawberry? Are they going to pull that too? And I said to this person, as long as he's not racist. Is he racist? If no, then he's fine. But then my question is too, is like, okay, we don't Nazi propaganda in their comics and stuff they used to have. We don't go around publishing those still. So why would it be okay for this rest of the stuff to just slide through? Why would that be okay? Because it's everybody else and we don't matter? Because that's what it seems like. Ugh. But again, I already know the answer to my question. But yeah, that's really what it seemed like. It was just like, hey, it doesn't matter if these books and comics depict people in a very hurtful manner, or who gets hurt who gets hurt by these. These are now part of history and they're iconic and we should continue to know. That's not okay. It's not okay to pass on to the next generation. Like, aren't we supposed to be getting rid of racism, not continuing it and pushing it further into the future? But yeah, anyway, it was Dr. Seuss's actual company that decided to not continue with these. And I think it was because of what's going on right now. So this is just a little, some of the comics that Dr. Seuss had worked on, just to give you a little snippet of what he did actually presented. So in the library, from the library of the University of California, San Diego, black people were depicted as savages living in the jungles with grass skirts. Arabic people were depicted as riding camels. They were depicted as camel riding nomads or sultans. Some of the political cartoons from the Springfield Museum, he depicted Japanese people as buck-toothed and squinty-eyed, and he totally stood by that. He went on to be very defensive about it, and he totally stood by that. He totally stood by his anti-Japanese views. I'm always scared to put shadow under my lower lid because it always flies up into my eyeball. So instead of renouncing his anti-Japanese ways and beliefs, Dr. Seuss doubled down and said that, quote, right now when they are planting their hatchets in our skulls, it seems like a hell of a time for us to smile and warble. Brothers, it is a rather flabby battle cry. If we want to win, we've got to kill them. Whether it depresses John Hayes Holmes or not, we cannot palsy-wowsy afterward. We can get palsy-wowsy afterward with those that are left. This was during the war. So later in his career, after the war, he then renounced his anti-Japanese ways and went on to write anti-racist cartoons about Japanese people. And there wasn't a quote from him specifically that said this, but someone else assumed this, that he felt really bad about what he said before about Japanese people, I guess because he went over there and he befriended some people, and he actually dedicated his Horton Hears a Who book to a Japanese man. Yeah, he dedicated Horton Hears a Who to Mitsugi Nakamura of Kyoto, Japan. He wrote, "To my great friend." So yeah. But he didn't, there was no mention of him renouncing his other racist ways, just specifically Japanese. So yeah. His publishing company, his company, Dr. Seuss Enterprises, they said that the books they're pulling, they depict people in a way that is wrong and does not fit their views, and that's why they're pulling the books. So no, it's not, they're getting canceled. No one canceled them. Like, I really doubt somebody can take down Dr. Seuss Enterprises, but okay. So yeah. Oh, I thought it was interesting to look up stuff about Dr. Seuss. Didn't really think I needed to make this video, but I guess I did, because people be tripping. But in the end, everybody knows what's up. People just want a reason to be racist and to perpetuate racism and hate and continue to pass it on throughout the other generations. So that's kind of what it all boiled down to. Because before this, nobody was reading those books. And now all of a sudden, people are up in arms and buying the books and blah, blah, blah. Don't cancel the books. Why are you canceling the books? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why are you trying to hold on to so much racism and hate and to spew that over to kids? Why? For what reason? He has 60 other books. But these 6 for some reason mean something to you that you've never thought about until now. Come on, be for real. But yeah, I mean, Dr. Seuss was a great writer and cartoonist, and no one can take that away from him, but he did have a dark side as well, as a bad side as well. Like, can't take that away either. Can't forget about that either, especially since he put it in print. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, I didn't plan on making this video really. It just seemed like it had to happen just because all the stupid comments I keep seeing and hearing actually in my life from people I know, and it just is really annoying. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do some research and I'm gonna make a video about Dr. Seuss and let you see it for yourself. You can also research more, of course. Always, I implore you to research more, find out more information, because there's a ton more out there. Like I said, I didn't really want to do an in-depth video about his life. I mostly wanted to focus about what is actually going on right now in relation to the Asian hate that's going on right now, and why his books were pulled and all that stuff. It's all intertwined. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.